Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen, it's the Black Jamba, and today I'm bringing you this video about the 2017 to 2018 Dota 2 competitive season. Notice the wording, competitive season. What is a competitive season? Think of the NBA, basketball, 82 games in their season, and then there's a playoff and a final. Football, there's I don't know how many games in a season, probably 16 or something. Boom, playoffs, final. And then baseball, 106, some bullshit, whatever. You guys get what I'm saying, right? Dota 2 is making itself more official now. Instead of just having 3 majors and then the 5 top teams always make it to every TI, always, forever. Dota 2 is changing that now. And let's look what it is. In just 6 weeks, a new champion will emerge. They're talking about the 2017 TI7 championship. Whoever wins the Aegis, that's their new champion of TI7. But after that, the system is going to drastically change, boys. Not drastically, but a slight move. Back in, I think, a couple years ago, they introduced majors. The Frankfurt Major. This is one of the stepping stones of a regular season Dota 2 is trying to make. They were trying to make their game more official, and like instead of making it just a bunch of random lands throughout the year that only specific teams get invited to, and some have qualifiers, some don't, they're making it so now there is a mandatory. They haven't said released any numbers yet. They're just putting this out there information so we have a feeling of what's going to come. But they basically said the details are there will be 2 tiers of tournaments that we sponsor. Majors and minors. Majors must have a minimum prize pool of $500,000 and will receive an additional $500,000 towards the prize pool from us. So the majors are going to be starting around $1 million. So it's going to drop a couple million for all participants. But minors must have a minimum prize pool of $150K and will receive an additional $150K towards their prize pool. So Valve is basically saying, I'm not sure if it's the community or if the teams or whatever, the sponsors or something, have to come up with $150K. Then Valve adds $150,000. I'm not sure how that works, but that's just how it is. That's just what they have here. In order to ensure a baseline level of competitiveness and to support teams from different regions and around the world, both majors and minors will be required to have at least 1 qualifier from each of the 6 primary regions. So this qualifier system that you saw that's being used in TI7 will be used in every major and minor tournament coming up. So you will not always see your favorite teams up there in the majors and qualifiers. I'm pretty sure this is just one big OG nerf or something, but whatever. Anyway, in addition, majors and minors must have a LAN final component to their tournament in order to accommodate teams from the different regions. We will directly manage the schedule of majors and minors to help avoid collision during the year. So in order, Valve is basically, they're going to lay out a schedule for us, and this is all going to be announced, I'm pretty sure, somewhere in TI7, I don't know, in the playoffs, maybe near the finals, or maybe at the end of it, because, you know, they're going to have a lockout for teams after this. But yeah, basically what they're going to be doing, making majors and minors 500K, roughly $1 million in majors and 300,000 in minors. It's reasonable money, and they're making it accessible to all regions, so there can be new teams coming up in the qualifiers all the time, because you saw in these qualifiers there's small teams coming up making upsets. You know, it's fun to see those stories. It's fun to see other good players get noticed, and it's fun to just have Dota 2 expand, because the more it expands, the more people play it, the more it grows, and that's just a lovely thing. So qualifier points will be awarded based on the total prize pool of a tournament. So what they're adding is this thing called qualifier points. You know how people just get invited to majors and TI7 and all that shit? Now there's going to be a point system. So once you reach a certain amount of points won, you will in turn be invited to TI8. So the way this prize point system works is based on every dollar or certain number of numeric amount, like some sort of number amount you make or win in a prize pool, you will be rewarded a set number of points for that prize pool. So if you're in a 5-man team, you guys win, let's say, a major, and you win $1 million, and each player on the team, they spread that $1 million along with the coach and shit like that, but you spread the money. Basically, you're gonna get rewarded based on individual amounts earned, and that's how they're gonna be deciding who gets invited, based on a team's total number of points. This will be interesting. I'm pretty sure there'll be no confusion because it'll work itself out through the year. But yeah, majors giving more points per prize pool dollar. So the total points per tournament will also partially scale based on the time of year, with tournaments closer to the international awarding additional points. So this is more of a thing where as soon as you're getting closer to TI, the points will be worth more. So it'll be like one of those things, like kind of like a late game situation, you know, like a late game clutch item, like, oh my god, he just bought a rapier, or oh my god, OG was short like 1,000 points or something like that, and they just won this huge tournament at the end right before TI, and they made it to the TI international, you know, something like that, something, you know, really compelling and hype, you know. I think that's cool, I guess. Qualifying points will be granted based on placing high in majors and minors, and will accumulate on individual players. So yeah, basically each player is just going to get their own amount of points. Roster lock seasons will still exist, and players switching teams during the approved period will retain their qualifying points. So once you switch teams, boom, there will be a roster lock, and then your points will permanently, you have to stay on that team until the next roster lock or whatever, and then you can stay on that team, keep the points on that team, and then just work it out. And players switching teams, yeah, whatever. In order to allow teams recruiting new entrants to the competitive landscape, and to facilitate sometimes necessary roster changes between lock periods, only top 3 point earners on a team will contribute towards a team's effective total qualifying points. That's interesting, because what I was thinking is, you know how there's 5 players on a team, and there's qualifying points for each one of those teams. So the TI 8 is basically going to favor teams with higher qualifying points. So let's say you haven't played competitive Dota, right, for the first 2 majors, and you come in the 3rd major and you're trying to play, right? Nobody's going to pick you up because you don't have any qualifying points. You're not going to be wanted. So I feel like this is kind of like already starting to create like a bias, and it's kind of creating like a gap, an equality gap right here for current players and people wanting to get into the pro scene. I feel like this is going to make it harder for them, because they're not going to have as many qualifying points as, let's say, a No-Tail or a Miracle or like a Sumeo, who's at almost every event. So it's going to be hard for them, and it'll be interesting to see what they do here. But they said only the top 3 point earners on a team will contribute towards the team's effective total qualifying points. So only the top 3 people with the highest earnings on the team will contribute to the qualifying points. So if you're the bottom 2 of the team in qualifying points, your qualifying points won't mean anything. So I guess that's their way of including new players. So I guess if you already have like 3 slots on your team solid, and they have reasonably good qualifying points, you can pick up 2 other players and just, it's fine, because their points won't matter. And to help teams and fans keep track, yeah, they're going to make a leaderboard throughout the year. A leaderboard of individual players' qualifying points and team qualifying point rankings will be available for everyone to follow along with as teams fight their way towards next year's international. Best of luck to teams competing in August, and we look forward to the upcoming season once a champion is crowned. So, since Dota 2 is adding these majors and minors, they're not going to be new minors, guys. You know what I'm talking about, right? Basically, they're just going to get Epicenter, freaking the Summit, Dream League, Star Ladder, shit like that. You know, little tournaments. I'm not like, what was it? Captain's Mode by Dota Cinema or some shit. They're just going to take all those tournaments. Where are they? These tournaments, they're just going to take these, and then the Defense Season 5, you know, these, and they're going to cherry pick a certain couple that are already doing good, you know? Like ESL 1 at New York, oh, okay, all right, you're doing all right. Okay, Dream League, okay, you guys not at 100,000. Join Dota, oh, okay, you guys are at 100,000. All right, we'll sponsor you guys. And then boom, and they're just going to cherry pick these tournaments, fly people in, and then just going to make it as official as possible. I like this because it's going to cause Dota 2 to get more traction. You're going to have more players moving around more. So I'm not sure for the players how it's going to be, but you know, NBA teams and pro teams and stuff like that around the world, they fly to different areas and stadiums. They're going to get more exposure. It's going to become a bigger thing, and I feel like this is a step in the right direction by Dota 2. They're doing great. You're doing good, kid. Keep it up. So yeah, that's what's happening, guys. The Dota 2 2018-2017 season. I said that backwards. It's going to be interesting. Let's see how it works out. And thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, maybe learned something new about the Dota 2 scene. If you become a pro player, please, link in the description. Send me 5% of all your prize pool winnings. Remember to like, comment, subscribe on the video. Ad block, your worst enemy. I will hate you if you use it. I'm just kidding. And bye, guys. Love you.